Hello friends, myself Astha Patel. Today I am going to teach you about the approaches and components of in-service education. First, we will start with the approaches of in-service education. So basically there are three types of approaches. First one is centralized approach, second decentralized approach, and the third one is coordinated approach. So let's see one by one. First is a centralized approach. The in-service education can be conducted by nursing personnel in the central administration of the agency. So this approach was taken by the top level management or the central administration of any organization. So whoever the head authority or head nursing personnel in the central administration, those kind of people are responsible to conduct this centralized approach for the in-service education. None of the learners are consulted or participate in a planning the learning experience and yet are only expected to attend an in-service education. So this was done by the top level management. The nursing personnel at the higher level cannot consult any learners. Whatever topic they are going to teach, they are not coming in a contact with the learners and they are not asking what all are the needs of the learner. They are just expected to the learner that they come and attend the in-service education. So only participation is occur by the central level of management or top level of management. The people who are employed in a top level of management are responsible to conduct the centralized approach in in-service education. They are not asking for any suggestions or any needs from the learners. The learners are only expected to come, sit and attend the in-service education. Another one is a decentralized approach. It is planned by and conducted for the employees who work together in one or more units or departments. So, starting from the management, we all know that centralized, that means the authority of commands are only in a one hand or in a top level management. Where in a decentralization, the authority or power is on all the departments. This is given to the employee who are giving patients care with a similar condition and having the same goal. So decentralized approach was conducted by the different departments. Centralized approach is conducted by the top level management, whereas decentralized approach is taken or conducted by the middle level management or the low level management. So the employees who have the same goals or having the same characteristics are providing patient care with the similar diagnosis. So these kind of approach are organized for employees having the similar characteristics. So this is a picture of centralization and decentralization approach. First you will see in a centralization, the center is a power of authority and they are deciding to conduct the in-service education. They are not asking any people about their needs and all. They are just expected to come, sit and attend the in-service education. Whereas in decentralization, the power are divided in a different department. So it is a department wise. All the people are coming together and they are discussing the similar topic and they are going to conduct the in-service education. So centralization in-service education approach was conducted by the top level management, where the decentralization approach was conducted by the middle level or a low level of management. In a decentralization, the employees are expected to keep administration informed of their activities and possibly consult with administration when any help is wanted. So in a decentralization approach, the employees are keep in a contact with the higher administration, and whatever activity they are planning to do in a in-service education, they are telling to that higher authorities, or they are informing whatever activity they want to perform in a in-service education, they keep on informing the higher administration. And sometime if any help they require, so they consult the administration also. Here, employees are expected to develop and direct their own learning experience, because in a centralization, what happens, all the power are in a central level or top level management. But in the decentralization, each and every employee have a equal chance to become a part of in-service education. So also by means of that, they can create or enhance their own learning experiences also. The third one is coordinated approach. So it is compromise between the centralized and decentralized approach. So this approach involve the both approaches, like the centralized and the decentralized approach. This approach involves both nursing administrator and nursing practitioners. So the nursing administrator are at the top level of management, where the nursing practitioner, that means staff nurse in charge, those are the middle and low level management. So they are coordination between these two, the top level management, middle and low level management. So the coordination of these two are creating the coordinated approach. Next one are components or types of in-service education. So there are four types of components of in-service educations, like orientation, skill training, leadership and management development, and continuing education. The orientation. Orientation means providing new employees with basic information about the employer. So this orientation program was run by each and every organizations for their new employees, so that they can able to know about the employer as well as their organization also. So there are two types of orientations, like centralized orientation and decentralized orientation. In the centralized orientation, the employer are giving information about the physical setup of organization, what all are the philosophy of the organization, and purpose and roles and responsibility of the employees in their particular job. So they are giving the introduction about the general introduction about the organization setup, philosophy, goals, norms, mission, vision, what are the purpose and the job responsibilities of employee in that job. The decentralized orientation is focused on orientation to the nursing unit and orientation to the nursing team. So decentralized orientation are giving the orientation or information about particular one department. Suppose the employees was taken into the or employed in a ICU department. So in the decentralized orientation, the employer are giving the orientation of the ICU unit as well as what all are the staff members of ICU to the new employee. Next component is skill training. It provides employees with the skills and attitude required for the job and keeps them abreast of changing methods and new techniques. So whenever the new employees come in any organizations, so by the help of skill training, the employer try to enhance the skills and attitude which is required for his or her present job. And also they are giving training about the changing methods and new techniques which are coming in the healthcare sectors. Types of training given by in-service educations include basic literacy training, technical training about specific machineries, interpersonal skill training for a good coordination with all the level of management, problem solving training, and the diversity training. So this type of training are given in the in-service education for the new employees. Here are the training methods. So how we are giving the training to the employees? So by the job rotation, by assigning people to different jobs or a task to different people on a temporary basis. Suppose we have taken the example of the ICU department. If one person or one employee is employed in a ICU department, so after 6 months or after a few periods of time, we are shifting the duty from ICU to the operation theater. So he or she may become thorough with the all the departments. So that is a job rotation. So by means of that we are providing training. Suppose in ICU he or she trained well, then after some months we are shifting that person to the operation theater department. So that is a job rotation. So he or she will also become thorough about the methods or what are the techniques are adopted in a operation theater also. So that is a job rotation. And next one is the mentoring programs. A new employee frequently learns shifts or her job under guidance of an experienced worker. So mentoring program was conducted in a healthcare sector by the new staff nurse are under the guidance of experienced staff nurse working under the guidance of that experienced person. If any newcomer came in a hospital but the person who having the high experience or having the power or authority, so that person is providing guidance to the new nurse how to work in an organization. So that is also trained the person by helping the or by doing the mentoring program. Third component is leadership and management development. It equips a selected group of employees to shoulder growing responsibility and a new position. Staff should have skills in a leadership and management in order to guide the employees. So, the leadership and management quality each and every employees must have so that they can guide other employees also. They mainly focus to develop the leadership skills, communication skills, performance management skills and decision making skills in the employees. Next one is continuing education. So continuing education is all the learning activities that occur after an individual has completed his basic education. So as we have discussed in a previous video, continuing education is nothing but they are providing opportunity for educations when they are doing the job. They are giving the relaxation period of some time. After getting the degree or certificate, the employee may again join the job. So that is a continuing education. So these four are components and types of in-service education. I hope you like my video. Thanks for viewing my video. Thank you so much.